always trying to draw attention away from the B side, but there'll still be two players to defend it in Dreamer and Ships. And Ships has already fallen to the raid boss. Great P250 shots from XANTARES. Cleans up to head confidently towards their favor. We talk a lot about how the inexperience and the stand-ins, of course, on the Eternal Fire side couldn't end up being a hindrance, but in terms of the team overall, you still have four of those main staple players. Rainwaker at least getting a couple of exits back here towards Pit will try and make it at least somewhat of a competition in the late stage of this piece across the board. So this should be a pretty easy 3-0 start out for them. XANTARES picking up Ships, attempting the Zeus shot, not going to work out for him.
Yeah, it was close on to XANTARES. It's probably the right position to play that Zeus up close and personal in a close range angle. Doesn't quite happen. Eternal Fire just going to be ripping this eco apart. XANTARES looking for another peek out towards mid. Not getting tested, but you wouldn't imagine so. There's not many upgrades. The only thing that could potentially get some kills or some damage is that scout, and even that's dealt with as the B takes.
Indicating there's going to be an A hit here for the Eternal Fire. Counter flash is going over. Will catch Danny a little bit blinded. His bubble instead to get 2 kills. He turns back on imoRR, finding XANTARES in mid and back over towards the A site itself to a 3 versus 5 scenario. Meanwhile, Mini starts walking out the B site, seeing nothing. Will catch info on Dreamer, but lose that next fight. And that's exactly why Eternal Fire were playing slow, because those individual fights could have gone to Ryan. In this round, they most certainly have. Now left to Woxic in a 1v4 clutch.
Yeah, what a hold from Bubble down there towards CT Spawn, gathering all of that information, making the whole play possible. Woxic now getting legged up. Rainwaker
bashes in against Woxic. He'll try pushing against Ships. Try find an angle. That's going to lead to his demise.
You've got a lot of players that can AWP on this team. Bubble can pick it up from time to time. Ships is a great hybrid. And we know what Denny can do. Even looking in for more. Great HG placement. Second kill's going to come. He's even pinking for a third. Look at his confidence, mate.
God, the confidence in this player and the confidence in
Thinking about aggro.
You can hand the Ships, give up that 3k in the end. Kill on Dreamer instead, and Ships continue walking forward. Does XANTARES go at the angle? Yes, he does with Denny's other... Nothing much on the buy itself, though. Mostly eco pistols, couple upgrades here and there. Swing out from imoRR, somehow gets away with 2! That head once again, takes a premature shot. Rainwaker tapping with the AK. Little tags coming in against him. He gets the kill back on Calyx as that bomb crosses the site. The nade comes up, denies it for the time being. Mini also just as low, so I think SKADE might have just maintained control on a 3-on-3. Walks up from the backup now. Ships will get to position. Nades continue to rain in on the site itself. The bomb should go down from him. There's no further HEs, so they get the bonus cash out this round. Everything from here is a bonus, and as XANTARES falls, everyone all down to the main T-side force here towards long. On this ramp position, it's imoRR that watches it. Gandalf, 13 seconds. Bomb gets dropped here. It might lead to their demise. Rainwaker involved alongside Bubble's assistance. USP pulled out. Gets the headshot on XANTARES. Woxic with a trade, but now they're dead out of time. imoRR's got to prioritize the bomb plant, and damage being done against Mini, especially on that Galil. Automatic weapon 3 removed from player. Now 3 players make their way up. Ships will get caught for it, so it is a 4 versus 4. But I'm not checking this corner. Dreamer comes up with 2 frags to return alongside Bubble dropping that bomb. And last player not quite known towards the SKADE side just yet, but he should be discovered eventually. USP might even get the kill. A bit more to get its success back. 3 to make up the difference. Flashbangs coming into the tunnels, and XANTARES this time drops in for the opening kill. Trade available for Denny at the shoulder bait, trying to force out the mistake from him. He holds his patience, holds his nerve, still doesn't get the trade and loses his life.
Oh, that's such a difficult shot. And even Rainwaker's been seen on the aggressive push up towards that short position. imoRR thinking about the pace to try and beat him out. May even hunt him down and just continue to fight.
And just took that one tactical pause, it feels like, for Eternal Fire to spring into life as Rainwaker gets caught on shore. Not quite able to double up this time for imoRR, who is XANTARES' impact. It will make it a 4 versus 2. Bubble isolating a pick back on Calyx. Now 2 to worry about on short, and long burst fire on XANTARES. Not as successful this time. He makes it a triple, and now Dreamer just left to save. And the hit comes forward for Eternal Fire. Flashbang comes in and no one gets caught by it. Rainwaker going away behind the default boxes. Look for Calyx. Good kill. Double up there as well. imoRR with a responsive. The AWP now for Denny. Needs to try. Gets 1. No more than that. 3 on 2. Ships on site. Supported by a teammate right behind him. Could deny the bomb plant. Look for the backup instead. Mini traded. Woxic there with a good shot of the AWP and has absolutely no idea where the last man's coming in from. It's on short and Woxic makes the right call to plant for the backside. Dreamer reveals his position and Woxic checks the corner but doesn't land the shot. Not able to get the kill though. Dreamer unable to find a trade. He'll hunt for him still as he works in. The execution to come out to the A side as Mini does eventually fall. Denny Slaw set with the AWP. Not had a massive number of frags, but they have all been impactful, like that one against them all. Great shot now to the advantage. Dropping another important rifle as Calyx falls on long, and it's 2 standing for Eternal Fire. Nades on XANTARES, so much damage done. Sets up SKADE for the retake so effectively, and surely Eternal Fire shouldn't last long in this one.
No, not at all. Denny even capitalizes on Woxic getting aggressive, and we need one hell of a XANTARES moment if anything's going to happen. 17 points of health. This is so undoable.
Yeah. C2 get nothing, just a
Get that kill in straight away, but I like the way they back off and they cancel, and they now start putting the troops into A.
And it's XANTARES for the opener at last. Ships dealt with. Goosh down on Woxic. XANTARES makes it a double. On for the triple. imoRR steals it away, but that still picks to the favor of the CT side. XANTARES struggling to get that triple with Woxic being low. If XANTARES falls, and it could spell disaster. And that's just on that short presence. One player dives down. Mini should have been heard. Jump face. Rainwaker can now strike his Dreamer. Gets the kill on Calyx. Mini so low. 8 HP. And it takes one.
Yeah, they need a pick, and they need one in quickly. Woxic with this scout, very exposed up into the short side, but Dreamer's the one to fall.
With a scout mini caught off by ships, so 4 versus 4, and an exit strategy has been brought out here by this one player. Flashes over, they're still going to commit towards this A side, it seems like. One player out towards mid, also caught off by ships, doing great with the late lurks. Calyx training as Calyx will fall back to Rainwaker's part, doubling up on his own, and Woxic now standing alone. So that potential in the damage not quite coming to full fruition here for Eternal Fire, as Denny closes out with a kill of his own. Flashed off, one player at Goose. XANTARES could be the winning element if they don't go ahead and check in here. Orp looking for an angle, captures Rainwaker, 10 seconds as they creep slowly into the bomb site, and they run into the trap set by XANTARES, sprung on Bubble and ships as well. And just like that, Eternal Fire find their confident round. The rifle round goes their way. So here's ships immediately out against one player. Flash will keep him blind, backed up by 2 more teammates. The MAC-10 makes its way in first here. Mini could get overwhelmed with the numbers game, gets away with that 1 and 2. Triple up for the man as he cuts out Bubble, and that play just went so far awry for SKADE.
Yeah, it seemed like it was the typical.
I guess they have got the rounds to play with, but Eternal Fire are getting to that point now where it's like, okay, now it's plausible that they can bring this deficit back, especially with imoRR hitting his shots now. AWP in against Bubble. Mini follows suit onto Rainwaker, so 5 versus 3 as they remove the main rifle from play here. The AWP standing for Denny's thought also gets removed by imoRR. A couple more picks of the AWP.
Sell the fake up to short. He's still got a smoke and a molly to work with. It's going to be the BXE, and right now there's only one on B directly.
He's finding the frag on Bubble. Mini's got a lot of work to do, but he did well with it in previous rounds. imoRR is with the AWP outside of the doors. He does get smoked off, forcing forward regardless here. He gets away with a pistol kill. Mini holds the utility thrown over. Much more fast execution inbound. Flashes forward for Mini. Does get caught blinded by them, although does not want to act too quickly. It's imoRR instead. A wallbang shot on the first. No scope to the second does not work out as Mini can strike against 2 and indeed provide support to that B site from all the way back at CT spawn. imoRR with the AWP. SKADE in deep trouble now. And again for Eternal Fire. Flashes in for Bubble, dives in with the Tech 9s, and Tara still catches him.
Yeah, even being blinded out towards spawn. No smoke towards CT cross. Denny could put it down and try and see if he can get the escape route into the B site. Unfortunately, he loses his teammates, so the lurk out into the upper tunnels isn't going to get anything. Dreamer dealt with.
Smokes will suppress them for now. Again, a lot of the attention turned away on towards Long. And they catch him through the smoke. Denny with a wall bang, taking his head off his shoulders. And the rotation back from Dreamer will not enable a B rotate. Even though they've rotated away from that B site entirely, they're going to commit towards the A play here, SKADE. 30 seconds to try and do so. Woxic's all but ready alongside the nades. imoRR's going to peek him with a smoke back down. Nades doing damage. The flicks don't connect. The ships now makes it 2 standing for Eternal Fire. 2 overly aggressive, giving up those individual fights. And now they storm the A site. Wraparounds of rotations coming in. The AWP peeks in, gets Bubble, but the ship drops Mini. It's all left to Woxic, who misses that second shot. Here with the AWP and the M4. Denny Slaw with his AWP into the long position. Spots one, does not connect the shot, will re-peek it. It's imoRR instead to strike out for the tunnel. Ships to drop, and Denny's just desperate to get XANTARES or Woxic, but Woxic's stressed in position. It all comes up to whether he gets the kill, really. The timing was position. The Molotovs Bubble can start to act, coordinated here by SKADE. Bubble's chance to strike, swings out, sees Mini, spray through. Where's the AWP? On site, he's got the right read. Damage being done as it creeps closer towards it. Gun barrel spotted, and Dreamer can get the overwhelming. It's a 3v3. Make it 2 now as Dreamer goes ham. Oh. Calyx coming in from tunnels. Bubble's ready for the shot, and that's it. That should be all. Woxic not as impressive in this map up, but now set to the clutch in a 1v3, and Dreamer swings to close it out. Wonderful round from him, and a wonderful slow from SKADE, as we have seen so far so well. It's ships that opens things up with a P250 raid boss 1 tap onto Mini. Woxic took some damage in the exchange out towards mid control, so it's a start out for SKADE and a hell of an advantage.
Yeah, moto smoke down for Bubble. This is going to be an apps pop into a short XE, and there's only 2 on 8. They've already over-rotated Woxic.
Rainwaker to pop out. Calyx gets caught in their head. CT brains splattered all over pit. And now it's XANTARES sat on the back of the site. A gap in that smoke could be utilized. A rat play could come through as imoRR drops the bomb. Bubble caught jumping in the air, and Dreamer's going to have to force get the trade. So them up as appropriate when you need see fit. Then we'll start to lean in. Both players now spotted that information. They get called. Woxic shot in the back of the head, like a scene from Of Mice and Men. XANTARES in a 1 versus 3 now. Surely has got no way back into this. It's a pistol that will be gained by SKADE, and what still? Flashed out from Rainwaker, saying they're just going to commit towards it. Ships out of the gate, drives in towards the pit position, looks towards long, was spotted out there by XANTARES. As Dreamer mops up 2 on the short control. Ships can get involved. Rainwaker steals that kill away with a bit of assistance. And obviously, we were talking a little bit about that in the desk and over the course of the Invitational itself. And even if that importance is just to sponge damage like he did in that last round, enable Dreamer and Rainwaker to get those kills, that's definitely an important... Smokes in towards Arches. And over at Library, imoRR flashing his way through the doorway. Instead allows XANTARES to peek forward. It's a great bait and switch for an opening kill for Eternal Fire. Calyx now in pit, unaccounted for. Ships will drop to imoRR as he engages out from the long position and moving ahead towards Moto. It's Rainwaker finding with a decent kill. imoRR on site, engages for a secondary pick back, taking some damage as now his teammate looks to strike. Rainwaker with a decent kill. XANTARES low. Bomb's got to go down here. They get the frag in, but it's too late for Rainwaker. I don't think he gets it. No, he doesn't. Most certainly not now. Back out. It might be misdirection. Indeed, it is. Mini rotating away from the A side, which is about to get hit up here.
Oh, Woxic gets dealt with, and even Calyx is so aggressive. This just allows the further lurk out. He's got no idea what's going on. He gets a kill, but it's not enough. Now they've got to put themselves in a position where they have to try and retake 2 on 3.
In any other situation, Calyx gets a ton of praise for that shot to Denny, but the fact there were so many players around him, it just means that it's just a small highlight in a round that's going to be an advantage for SKADE. 3v2 in the post plant. And imoRR and Mini feel like they want to go for this retake here, try and get that second up to the board. They've got a bit of momentum on their side, but Rainwaker immediately takes out the man advantage, makes it now 2 up for SKADE. And imoRR, what can he do from here? He's watching out all sorts of entryways, hoping that someone peeks out on the site itself. Bubble peeking. All 3 players peek, actually, and Woxic doesn't get away with a kill, fortunately enough, for the SKADE side. The Mini holds down to the site on the boost box. Only gets that 1 frag and a ton of damage to the second at the very least. Bomb will get up the site and should get planted here. imoRR's going to try and deny it. Gets the kill. Almost transfers to Denny, but he's a little bit late on the actual frag itself. So advantage for Eternal Fire here, making their way up to the retake.
Oh, we've seen Rainwaker and Dreamer in these situations before, though. 2v3. This is very winnable.
They're going to both peek together towards CT, get Calyx, look for XANTARES, Dreamer with a trade back, and he's aware of where this roster now being turned on. The AWP looks the wrong way, and
they've got a hold against the Apartments players.
Calyx is at least watching here from pit control. They'll dive down. They won't be ready for XANTARES in a mini pit, and he gets away with a kill. Calyx will drop XANTARES to the double. Needs to make it a triple. That's exactly what he does. AK picked up. Denny now wraps the corner with pistol in hand. AWP pulled out against Mini. And
to the short side to get them out with those entries. Calyx and XANTARES are going to be the first point of call.
Double wraps in. Calyx gets away with the kills. XANTARES with a 2-for-1 trade as Dreamer will respond. Only hold on to that quad position as the teams continue making their way up. Woxic on site. Orb shot lands towards Dreamer, drops that bomb. Then he's trying to get the flash in to pop Rainwaker out of the Apartments. Knows where XANTARES is. Will drop down, check Mini pit. Here, the footsteps, flashbang goes over, turns away. Spray comes up good. Almost wins that fight on Woxic. 1 player on the site has got to be worried about as well. Mini dead to right to the center. And now imoRR coming in with a flank. Will try and finally close it out. Mini credited with the kills. Denny somehow again. And he gets second back up to new box. AWP finding a gap in that smoke. Going to get overwhelmed. Okay, that's a shot. Looking for a blind one through the smokes. Hearing that bomb plunk coming down against Rainwaker. Trying to tap towards him, but no. He used that little ledge on the fountain to just escape the ire of the AWP. A 5v3. And now Denny's going to watch out from the banana presence. A spray through from Dreamer. Gets aggressive in CT. Does lose his life in the end. And now Rainwaker, the only directive element here on the site. The AWP Denny might have a big task to him, assuming Rainwaker gets killed off early. It's 1 frag. imoRR, a known entity, taking blind pop shots and smoke down onto the banana position. Is Denny, a blind shot through the smoke, gets imoRR now to a 1 versus 2. Calyx tapping the bomb once, Woxic, oh, shot through the smoke again. The AWP's going massive, and Calyx on the bomb, low HP for the P250.
Either, so just stacking numbers, allowing info plays. XANTARES thinking about getting flashed aggro.
Just peeks in dry a bit, Ships gets the kill. imoRR somehow lines up alongside Mini. The SMGs turn it around and find the 4 versus 2 for Eternal Fire instead. Rifles picked up again, it's Dreamer through the smoke. Player on the site in Calyx is held towards the box boost. Turned up, Scout gives away his position. It's a 2v2 now with his flashbang in and a smoke onto Moto. Will suppress his angle, allow that bomb to cross surely. Get planted, retakes on the engagement against Woxic. They brought it back now. It's 1 left. Eternal Fire have imoRR held behind the smokes, a slight gap in it. Can try and look for Dreamer, but he keeps his head tucked away in any angles. But it's M4 to work with on 1 HP. imoRR just watches. Creeps off the site, no idea where Rainwaker is. Info gonna have to get given up as he checks that corner, gets Rainwaker 1v1, pulls out Util and flashes his way out to try to get towards that bomb. Defusal, 4 HP v 1 HP. Next bullet to land will find the round. The Dreamer goes risky, and the risk pays off.
It pretty much does it. And even Denny, it's a bait setup. It's to draw the attention away from the Julies. XANTARES does open up, flash over the top. How much? The ship's fine, nothing actually.
Bubble at least gets away with one trade onto imoRR, but that's about it. A 2-for-1. Julie's now in the hands of XANTARES, who's hunting for more. USP spots that bomb, calls in, rotates. Rainwaker out here, sees one player crossing ahead of the smoke, walks like a risky peek to try and get that bomb to the site. And now the retake should be set up here. There are no kits in play for the CT side. As Bubble drops, it makes it now even more difficult in a 4 versus 2, but it's
time. So get one of those shotguns in, use it close range.
Ships with a bit of decent weaponry of his own, right? M4 swings on Mini, doesn't miss. Flash in, sees 3 more players, engages upon them all and lines them up for the Quadra. Ace potentially, I haven't seen one so far in the series, and it won't be coming in this time. Calyx, the party pooper in this one, does get the quick dome shot onto ships. But now they know where he is, they've got the bomb in their presence as well. Dreamer, headshot to be connected, the M4 will get recovered, so they maintain all their main weapons. And fine, 14-4, the 10-round lead for SKADE. An Eternal Fire, like, do they try play for OT here?
Yeah, they might do. I mean, that nice one as well, Jay, was obviously for you. I mean, didn't even need to mention that we haven't seen an ace when he was going for it. But anyway, we'll leave it be, because the result is what matters. 14-4 up. You look at the situation, you think, are we going to bring 11 rounds in a row back to OT? Probably not. Let's buy it up. Let's give ourselves some level of competitive nature and go towards Banana quickly by the looks of it.
Nades out for Bubble, will try to suppress them. A ton of damage being done by that utility. Somehow Woxic still walks away with the opening frag. Ship struggling to get the trade back, is all alone. A gap in that smoke thanks to the body block leaves XANTARES dead to right. So 4 versus 4. The flashbang leaps, keeps the CT player blinded. The bomb will try. Should be on here for SKADE. The nades will come back. The flashbangs go over. Woxic somehow staying alive in that. imoRR caught a point blank by Rainwaker. And now SKADE should converge on the side, assuming they don't kill each other off.
No, they've got a molly towards Nubox. That's going to force Mini out to the open, and straight away Dreamer's ready for the fight. Smoke to Bananas, not great. There's a massive gap in that.
This means that the 2 players that Coffin's going to push forward instead. Ship's caught with his back turned, thinking it was good. Apparently he's a bit misdirected there. Woxic and Calyx holding, they're taking their time to get to this defuse through smoke kills. We've seen them already, but as Woxic falls, now Calyx is overwhelmed by the numbers. Get cross Molotovs in over at the first box. His ship's going to get forced out of the way. XANTARES blind as a bat. Ships knife in the middle of the smoke, gets picked up in the end. The USP of Denny can't do much towards it. M4 in the back, trying to frag on Calyx, doesn't get anything. There's gaps, so in seconds. Denny gonna hold a bit of a gap in that Moto smoke, turning away from the flashbangs coming in from his teammates. Spotted XANTARES crossing. Flashbang keeps him blinded and dead. Dreamer comes up with 1. Rainwaker, back corner of the site, can't hold off against Mini, and neither can Bubble do anything. So no impact with the position away to the CT side. Molotov's up. Denny with the AWP, focusing on short, back on the site. Rainwaker to try hold it. Denny with a kill. Rainwaker and Dreamer hold down the crossfire, and it all falls apart with all 5 alive for SKADE. They get their 2